protection on the screen.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hopefully, if we'll sit closely and...
Yeah. Does it need refocusing? There we go.
Maybe that table's a bit too low. We'll change this angle.
Do it.
Or maybe we sit on the concrete rather than the...
Yeah.
So let's turn this table
Yeah.
and put it horizontally.
Cool, let me grab this. Do you want me to... Whoa! Oh,
I'm okay.
I'll just move. Oh.
Do I stop? Oh, we're still recording, that works. You see the disaster of us trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's comedy sketch complete.
I know, yeah.
Use that for the intro.
Good for the outtakes.
Yeah, literally.
Or intakes. Ooh.
Looks like mint. What does it smell like?
Lemon.
Really, really strong lemon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lemon balm.
Lemon balm.
He's what's his name? Lecky. Lecky told me about this. He came down and he was like, that looks a lot like one of those. He's like, sniff it. I was like, it bloody is. Growing in my garden, didn't know.
Wow.
We've got a garlic in there as well. Or
yes.
a couple of little onions. They're due to go. Loads of weeds. Like every time you come back, I'm just de-weeding.
Yeah.
Potato patch.
Cool.
Rhubarb.
Nice.
Which
when are your potatoes due?
soon, I think.
Yeah.
So they were flowering. I've ripped all the flowers off them because the flowers take away some of the energy from the roots. So yeah, they've started to go yellow. You see in the middle, they've sort of fallen down as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll be good to go soon.
Cool.
Got a cucumber. I think it's a cucumber. I saw one pollinating in here.
Oh yeah,
last
that's the
time,
yellow.
but I think that's now being eaten. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
See that spiky thing inside of there.
Yeah. The baby cucumber.
Tomatoes,
Nice.
rhubarb, and then overgrownness. There's a bit of knotweed, and we've got a giant apple tree.
Oh yes. Oh.
So you can see where it's taking its tumble, right? So it used to be propped up, and it had those two metal poles over at the side of it to keep it up as well.
Ah, okay.
But just the weight of the apples over time, the wind, it's knocked it down.
Yeah.
Been told that that's a plum tree as well.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But the birds have eaten it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I think we're okay there.
Cool.
Who are you and why are you in my garden?
Who am I? I'm Paul Wilshaw, aka the crazy shirt guy, which is good. And I founded my own company called Design for Humans, and we've worked together on quite a number of things. We've got a company together called Ghost Posts, which is pretty cool. So we're going to talk about that a bit today. And
we both worked at the same company. But at different times.
Yes.
So different timelines, same backstory, both creative types.
Yeah. Work with the same people. Yeah. And we just kept cropping up in each other's circles. And your old manager was my manager as well at the time. So a really top guy called Neil Lathwood. Super nice.
Still speak to him.
Yeah, me too. And he kind of like was chatting on LinkedIn, and then you popped up on a few things, and I thought this guy seems interesting. And then you started the accelerator at Dish, which is Barclays Eagle Lab, which is a digital innovation security hub.
Middle Manchester.
Yeah, and I used to work for Barclays Eagle Labs. So I went in there to meet an old friend who was running the space, and then we kind of met up and had a chat about
documentation.
You doing
pitched that idea, right?
Yeah. And it was brilliant.
It was similar timing. So I think I'd gone self-employed. You were still working for the company.
Yep.
And I decided to build a tool. Reached out to you and said, "Is there any use? Can we use this? Are you a potential customer?" And you said, "I think really good. Like this, Liam."
And then I said, "But I'm leaving." So they were making a few people redundant. And then I was kind of just decided to leave at the same time, do a bit of freelance stuff, go my own way, set up Design for Humans. And then, we met and we just started talking. And I thought, that's a brilliant idea. And it's kind of a little niche. And then we started riffing on a few ideas. And we decided to kind of like put ethics right in the heart of the centre of AI. So we created a little tool, or mainly you created a little tool. I kind of
combined effort, definitely.
I came up with the ideas. And to put all that in, and we kind of remove some of that language, remove some of that, AI was a bit dumb back then.
Get rid of M-dashes.
Get rid of M-dashes, and also kind of like make things kind of like your native language as well, and just kind of like things that were kind of really hard to do in kind of like the program back then. And we thought this was a really nice idea, and we've got a few customers on it. It was good. Got a bit of interest in it, and it's still going strong today.
I
But
think-
we need to adapt it because AI's moved on, and we've not done much on it for the last year.
Yeah,
so.
I think we were both in that similar space. So I'd
Yeah.
gone self-employed, started to play around with building tools, presented this to you. You were just going self-employed as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of combination of being without the safety net and trying to build something new, your runway only extends a certain length, right?
Yeah, totally.
So all the while, like both of us doing consultancy on the side, still trying to help other companies. And I think we just kind of allowed it to run, right? It left itself to itself. We promoted it in a few places. We found natural customers. We got our friends to adopt it as well.
Yeah.
But then we've not developed it.
Yeah.
But then strange turn of events, you ended up working at a company that I've also contracted with as well.
Yep.
And it's just gone full circle as well.
It's got the reverse of UK Fast. I started there first.
Yeah.
And then you're still
Now
there.
we're catching up to each other, right? You've got a few extra years in me, so I'm trying to catch up there.
Yeah.
But it's good to catch up again. It's good to be able to talk through some of the ideas and actually find space for either rediscovering old projects or just to see what you're up to, which is why I invited you down. So thanks for coming down
Nice.
as well.
No worries.
You are welcome in the garden anytime, so
Thank you.
Don't feel scared off.
Nice, not at all.
Have you got a garden yourself?
I've got a garden, yeah. I've got a garden.
You do much in it?
Do much in it, yeah. We've got a bit of bamboo, we've got a cherry tree.
That's not a good thing, is it?
You see, it's actually, because I use it, so grow bamboo, then I cut it down and then use the stick, dry them out, use the sticks then as props for other plants.
Interesting. I think
Yeah.
so. Okay, you're using it full circle economy there
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Are you growing it in pots or are you growing that?
Growing it in, which may be not a
ground.
good idea.
that was my fear, right? Because it's quite invasive. I got told off when I was here, like before I even put anything in the ground, like don't grow mint, don't put mint in the ground. There's no bamboo.
yeah,
but then
yeah.
they explained to me as well. There's a bit of knotweed in the corner that the council's dealing with.
Okay.
So knotweed, in case you don't know, goes everywhere.
yeah.
A friend was telling me from the allotment the other day they found some on their own property and it was growing out of a motorcycle that they uncovered under the ground.
Wow.
So someone had just dug over, or a motorcycle had been covered up, and eventually it's just literally come out of the metal inside of
Insane.
there. Grows on wasteland. It's terrible. I hate this
I know,
stuff.
yeah,
That
yeah.
and what's the other balsam? Indian
Oh,
balsam.
yes.
Really hollow
Yeah,
tubes.
yeah.
I can't stand it. And there's a massive epidemic.
Yes.
What's the term when weeds have gone too far?
Invasive species.
Invasive. Yeah, it's become invasive.
Yeah.
Aren't we all there?
I mean, well, I know, yeah.
Isn't that the purpose of life?
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
What annoys you in life?
What annoys me in life? Not much. People who bullshit, I think, so that's the big annoyance.
I think we're all there. A question I've found myself asking of groups recently, because I like to put awkward conversations out there. If you could genocide one particular group of people, who would it be? And now this could be politicians,
Oh,
solicitors.
you know what? It's tricky because if you said politicians, then you just get somebody else replacing them.
I'm going to caveat everything that you say. So what about the good ones?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Is there such a thing as a good politician?
I think there is. Well, there's a lot of people go into politics with ideals and values, but it's super hard to kind of like, you've got to appease every single person.
And how do you tell them apart?
You
Can
kind
you?
of see, yeah, you can kind of see. I think you can see kind of like people who are doing stuff in the community, people doing the grassroots stuff. I think those are the kind of ones like for example, the mayor of Salford, super nice. He's always doing stuff. He's like promoting businesses, and he's kind of always there and kind of like champion the city. And I think he's a great example.
Compare that to, I don't know,
Nigel Farage.
good comparison. Good comparison.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Is he in favour of allotments as well? That's been in the press recently. Angela Rayner was trying to get rid of them, and then they've recently released a blog to say that there's actually only been like 20 allotments. Have you seen this?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, because the allotments because they want to use allotments for building houses instead of being land. But yeah, that's crazy.
So there's a blog literally came out today as well, I think just in response to the bad press that's being leaked out, which I think is like a perfect tactic. Like as soon as the press says something about you, then you need to respond to it, otherwise that becomes the narrative, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Labour Party's currently destroying allotments. Well, that's going to be a big press piece for people like me that enjoy these, and there's thousands of people that are on waiting lists to get on them as well.
Totally.
But then it recently came out as well that the story is that there's been, I think since 2018, the ability to sell these allotments, and typically what will happen is that they'll sell the land to then put property developments on there,
Yeah.
but in turn they'll also then build another allotment space alongside that, which houses even more people. So
Yeah.
it's getting the full story, right? You
Yeah,
get a narrative from one particular party or one
Totally.
particular source, and it always
Yeah.
changes as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I agree. There's ways of spotting or rooting out the good and the bad ones. It's just not always easy, is it?
Not at all. Not at all. And just like, I mean, like, if you go to the pub, you speak to people and they've got totally different opinions and kind of like, people's life stories and kind of how life has treated them totally defines kind of like, their politics and what they're into. And
That leads into a lovely question
Yeah.
as well, right? So what makes you you? Where did you get your colourful shirts from?
where did I get? I started getting
Not
my...
sponsored.
No.
Yet.
No, could sponsor it though. So I think that this was in part a bit of a backlash against my parents. This is going to turn into a therapy session.
That's what we're here for. A bit of spiritual de-weed.
So when I was younger, I was kind of really into kind of at the end of school. I was kind of finding my place. I kind of really found kind of like metal music, rock music, that kind of thing. Every time I played it at home, my dad especially would say, "What's that shit?" He wouldn't use the word shit. He'd say, "What's that noise?" I'd kind of like, "Turn that off. Can't you play something decent?" And you're like, "No, I really like this." And
give us an example of what sort of artists we listen to.
So I was really into Metallica at the time, Megadeth.
Did you have hair as well, or?
I had the hair. I had hair down to
insert picture.
Insert picture here. Yeah, I'll dig out my old driving license photo. I'll look like It's I had really long hair. But I was kind of rebelling because every time we'd go somewhere, my dad would say like, "Get your hair cut, you're not coming out with me like that." So I kind of thought, that's making me do it even more.
I'm not going to cut it for another month now every time you say that.
Yeah. So, and just thinking like, you're not doing yourself any favours asking me. And then kind of like, I was just so into music, I kind of learned to play the drums. So I ended up having a drum set. But
you love that as well, right?
Yeah, obviously he loved that. But I tried to do it while he was out at work when I was at college.
What do you do? You put socks over the sticks, or how's that?
No, just playing it. Just kind of the key with loud music and drums. Just try and do it at the same time every day. So kind of like when I came in from like college, I'd do it like 4 till 5. And then kind of like people...
Create the routine as well, right?
Create the routine.
And people get used to the noise and they can plan around it. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then try not to do it, kind of like... You might do it every now and again in the day and stuff like that, but try and not do it after 8 o'clock or things like that.
So from Megadeth to colourful shirts?
Megadeth to colourful shirts. So it was just kind of like... So then I originally started out at college doing building studies. So I was learning to be an architect, a quantity surveyor. Okay. So I was going out to do kind of like site surveys. You kind of put the theodolites down and you kind of measuring distances.
You go there with a stick and...
The topographs and things like that. Yeah, which I used to love, and drawing the architectural plans and I really loved that. But then you go to the building sites and you realise how different you are from people. And like back in the day, you had to wear a tie and a suit, and then you were going to building sites with people, wearing t-shirts and high-vis vests, and like the amount of stick you used to get of being a young person on a building site with a suit and a tie. It was just horrific, and I just thought there must be something better to wear than a shirt and a tie. So then I thought kind of like, how can I combine this with music? So I ended up buying myself a piano tie, because this was kind of like, early 90s. So this like piano tie, and I thought I started funking stuff up a little bit by kind of like bringing in kind of what I loved doing in my free time into kind of what I was doing in the day. And then it just kind of grew more and more, and I started getting like fancy waistcoats with patterns on. Yeah, kind of like the paisley pattern stuff, and thought, I really like all this stuff. I really like, it's kind of like everybody else is just wearing like white or blue shirts, and it was like, it's so boring.
And then talk to me more about shirts then. So what draws you to a shirt? Is it the colour? Is it the pattern? What's the first thing that you spot in? And is there any sort of trend between the shirts you've got? They're all very bright and colourful and weird and wacky, but
definitely.
Are they more of one than the other?
So it's a real mix. So I kind of bring in, so I've got a lot of Star Wars shirts. So there's like some Hawaiian floral with Darth Vader on, Millennium Falcon, those kind of things, and kind of combining my love of sci-fi with fancy shirts.
So I see how that the rebellious then kind of just transgressed from being at home to then being in a workplace, and there's rules, there's things that we need to do.
Yeah.
Are you quite rebellious then? So almost I see that sort of arsehole principle inside of me, is that someone tells me not to do something like, Liam, here's the dress code that you've got to follow, you must wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Do you do that 110%? Or?
110%, yeah, because, and this is where kind of like, I think why I'm pretty successful, if I do say so myself, because I try different things. Sometimes it doesn't always work, you can turn up to a party in a fancy shirt and you go like, oh my God, it's a black and white tie. I'm a real dick, yeah.
I've been done there recently. So my girlfriend's German and didn't understand the concept of black tie. So
okay.
Jude arranged to go to this event, and it was a lovely charity event.
Yeah.
So it's going to be suit and tie. And I said, is it suit and tie or black tie? She went, I'm pretty sure it's suit and tie. I was like, well, can you double check with me, because there's a big difference. Right?
Yes.
So she goes, no, it's fine. I've checked with the guys. They're just going to be wearing their suits. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I put my favourite navy blue suit on, and I rocked up, and it was a black tie. So I'm the only person there. Everyone's dressed like penguins, and I've just got this bloody red tie as well. Just stuck out like a sore thumb.
But everybody remembered you.
Everybody remembered me. That's literally the place I was taking it to as well. Is it's fine to be an arsehole as long as you're not an arsehole to other people.
Yeah. And it was just kind of more, not being an arsehole and kind of like, no disrespect to my parents or anything. It was just kind of pushing the boundaries and seeing what's possible. And I think it's that curiosity and kind of like, can it be done slightly different? Like, why copy, kind of somebody's designs? Or I remember when I was first starting out designing websites and apps and things, I used to kind of get loads of people go like, can it just be like the BBC? And I'm going like, why? You're in a different industry. You're trying to sell clothes. Why would you want to do news stories? That's a totally different audience.
Back in the day of geosites and stuff, right?
Yeah. And everybody just want kind of like the three main sites. It still happens now. You get people like, oh, I want a site that looks like Apple. Well, are you selling Apple products? Have you got loads of cool photography? Because without that, you've got words.
It's so interesting you say that. So I was working with a client recently again on a similar website, and it was wanted a scrolling effect as you were scrolling down the page. They wanted it to sort of open up a laptop screen and then have that present in this way. And they kept coming back to like on the Apple website or like on the Nike website. And it was just referencing what other people had already done as well.
Yeah.
And the famous phrase, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got.
Exactly, yeah.
Sticks to reason, right? It's the 80-20 rule, right? The 20% of people succeed, 80% of people don't. It's everywhere.
And then this ties nicely back to the shirts, because then if you're wearing exactly the same website or shirts as other people, you're forgettable, really forgettable, especially in a crowded market and wanting to do something differently. Yeah, you need to be kind of like quirky and have that USP and be strong.
I was watching Modern Wisdom the other day with Rory Sutherland.
Yes,
he was on there, and they were talking about reverse benchmarks.
Oh, okay.
So in particular, if you consider Michelin-star restaurants, the example they gave, you go to a Michelin-star restaurant, if you're looking to compete with another Michelin-star restaurant, you can do it on the food, but if you can't do it on the food, like if you're already top of your game, what else can you do?
Yeah.
And their advice was, well, go and look at what your competitors are doing and then see what they don't do perfect.
Exactly.
So if you go to we'd had this recently, we went to a really, really nice restaurant, Michelin-starred one, and we went to the toilets, and inside of there, the soap dispensers were slightly wonky, and around the edge of it was slightly rusty, and kind of you could see this bit of crud that had built up over there. You walked into it, it was 4 people greeted you, took you to the table, you had a massive wine selection, they had sommelier for everything as well. So comparing it back to that Michelin-star restaurant, they started to incorporate it as like coffee sommeliers and beer sommeliers.
Nice.
But you just think about, like, could I create the restaurants with the Instagrammable bathroom?
Doing
something that sticks out and not just trying to meet the status quo. It really goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, and again, it's all about those shareable things as well, and like, kind of like, what was I looking at the other day? Oh, Wet Leg, the band Wet Leg, and they've got a website at the minute to promote their new album. It's Windows 95 based, and it's just kind of like, usually I wouldn't share websites, and I'm just going to have a look at this. It's a good laugh.
So then let's talk about demographics then and ideal customer profiles, because is that them really understanding their audience? Is that they know the age group that listens to their music and they know that they would have grown up with around Windows 95?
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's that whole nostalgia piece, isn't it? That sets them out slightly differently, but then kind of playing on those kind of like, And I think that's the thing about music. It kind of makes you remember a place and a time. It's interesting coming up here. My daughter was born at Farnworth, the hospital of Bolton, and we were listening to the Stone Roses on the way, and I was just thinking, like, as we were driving, like on the same roads that we were taking, and I was just thinking, like, we were listening to the Stone Roses on the way, and like we were just coming from an appointment, and then
really you think about how music tunes, little loops are incorporated into like the most famous brands.
Totally.
If I was to say, give me a musical tune from a brand, you probably think to the Big M's, right?
Yeah.
There's so much of it's incorporated,
Totally.
and you can't really. And it's interesting as well, because you can't really transgress that and give that in a paper form.
Yes.
And you can't do that just on an Instagram still or a picture or a static image, right? It doesn't carry the same weight as It's interesting, actually.
Yeah.
You brought up a brilliant thought here. So one of the shorts that I posted on the Plotcast channel was just it was a looped video of me building that little brick wall over there as well.
Nice.
And I just had it to a loopy music track in the background as well.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
7,000 views that one got. It's the
Crazy.
highest one that's tracking. And I
Yeah,
found
yeah.
this as well where I'm not necessarily saying a piece to the camera, where it's just music and rhythm and something that people can relate to.
Yeah.
That seems to carry a lot more weight. People seem to engage with that a lot more rather than having to sit through 5-10 minutes of a story.
Yeah, totally. And I think
interesting.
it's that, and it depends as well what your audience is doing. And like, I think it's a lot harder now than it used to be because we've got devices, we're doing things differently, and it's just kind of like, you know, sometimes you don't have like 30 minutes to listen to stuff, or you know, you just want that quick bite of info, or kind of pass the time.
I read a post the other day about someone talking about call to actions being dead, is that you need to get attention sooner, right? If you can't have a call to action because you need people to see it first of all.
Yeah.
Are we moving now to perhaps a call to attention?
Yes.
Is it the rage bait? What's the best way of marketing someone in 2025 or 2026 as we're getting into?
Yeah, I know. I think that's really tricky because I think it's know your audience. It's definitely know your audience. Got some. I couldn't even tell you what bird it was.
It's that one that makes that noise. Noisy buggers, aren't they?
Yeah,
Well,
I think is it magpie? Could be. Yeah, it's a couple of
Come down if you
magpies.
want. It is definitely a magpie.
Yeah. We've got them in our back garden too. I quite like it though.
Why so sad? Is it because they're by themselves?
No, they always hang around in groups.
But one for sorrow.
Two for joy.
Is it
I know.
one because it's by itself, or?
I don't know. I don't know where that comes from. But in some, it's like it's blackbirds, isn't it? It's all ravens. In magpies here, but I think it's like ravens.
Other countries have different noises for animals as well.
Yeah.
That freaks me out a bit the first time I heard that.
Yeah,
The French don't say like cluck cluck for a bird or a rooster or something.
Yes.
They'll do
It's a
something
different-
like.
Oh, I was reading like dogs have got different barks in different countries.
Okay, keep going.
Yes, because based on the humans they interact with. So if someone talks in a really fast, they bark faster.
So I've seen there's a guy on YouTube who does language, so speaking to cats.
Wow.
So he's like, if you want to get a cat to come to you, you need to say, "Mm," and it's accentuated in certain places. I've tried this loads of times. My cat doesn't respond to "ma."
No.
So I wonder if that's part of the problem, because I'm pretty sure he's American.
Maybe.
And is American cat English the same as British cat English?
Yeah. Perhaps we should, if anyone wants to fund this research, we'll go over to America and find this out.
We'll just we'll get a bunch of cats and we'll ask them.
Yeah.
Sick of
We'll do a TikTok with them.
It's not snakes on a plane. It's cats in a bag. No, we don't do that.
No, not cats in a bag. Cats on a TikTok.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah. It's good.
So marketing someone in 2025.
Yeah, I think so I think you've got to know your audience. You've got to know who you're targeting or who you're likely to target. And that's not to say like you can't change or adapt that over time, but it's just going for that niche. So for example, I'm working on a pitch deck for a cool new startup, and we were talking about the audience for that, and like, while they want to be a young and cool vibe, they're talking to investors, and investors are generally kind of like over 40, they're kind of like generally male, so you've got to kind of play into that whole demographic. So yeah, we're doing a nice cool thing, kind of like a 90s retro feel, and again it's kind of like going back to the wet leg thing. It's that kind of like knowing your audience, growing up with those things, and it instantly sparks an affinity or a warmness to it than if you put something out with something kind of like, here's something like a spiky cactus. Like people go like, I don't want to hug a spicy cactus or spiky cactus.
Yeah.
And so it's all those things.
I can relate to this. I had something sad happen to me the other day.
Oh no.
So it's not terrible. It's just showing my age. So I was in the office and I was speaking to one of the girls in the team, and she's 24, 25.
Yep.
And she came out of the office and someone had said to them, "Oh, I feel a bit like a mini version of this person."
Okay.
And I went, "You will call them mini-me." And she went, "What?"
Yes, totally didn't get the
Deadpan.
reference.
No response. And I was like, "Okay, can we just go back a sec? Do you know who Austin Powers is?" And she went, "Never heard of it."
Yeah.
You've never seen any of the Austin Powers movies, so if I like mini-me,
Yeah.
that fat bastard, all of this, you don't.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
Most of my jokes are made up of cultural references. Most of the quotes that I'll throw out randomly have come from a film that I saw 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to understand my age now and the consequences of being old, right?
I know, yeah. And it's kind of like you have to tailor your conversations to that kind of person. So you can't talk about Windows 95 because they'd never know. They've never known Windows 95.
So then, okay, we'll talk about investors then. So how do you pitch AI to an investor? How are they staying so in tune with it, but still not understanding, the concepts of how to get out of a spreadsheet and how to set up a Google form or set up a poll to invite someone somewhere? Why can they invest in AI but not in an automation company or someone that's doing something with a bit of software?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's interesting. I think it's that, not spin, but it's putting that, kind of making it super clear, but then also abstracting it to something that's relatable. So, for example, if you're doing AI and you're doing kind of like an AI chatbot, you want to do that, you talk about the problem and the solution over the technology, because you're probably losing the audience there. And kind of if you were going like, oh yeah, we have these credits and these tokens, and like if we do this token with this word, it equals that much, and kind of like you super over the head. But if you say kind of like, oh, this, and if you put these comments in, you'll get a fridge, just for example, something random, people will get that, and people will understand what they're getting back in return. So it's that, having that analogy of stuff.
So understanding your audience, knowing who you're selling it to, and then explain the problem clearly.
Exactly,
Anything else if I need to sell something to someone in 2025?
Just have AI.
Get some support from it as well. Get AI. Wasn't it Sam Altman famously said, like, how are you going to raise the money to build an AGI? And it's like, well, we'll build the AGI and we'll ask you how to do that and then we'll tell you.
Yeah.
Best way of doing it, right? And it's so difficult, I think, for a startup nowadays, especially with how fast AI is moving as well. You build a bit of software like Ghostpost we were talking about before, and suddenly there's 50 other competitors are out there, or suddenly OpenAI or Gemini introduce it into their own feature set. You've now got agents that you can connect to your desktop and have it look at Outlook and do everything for you. And one that'll even remind you at 3 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the afternoon to take your medication. So coming on leaps and bounds, what's the coolest thing you've used AI for at the moment?
Oh, so I'm working with a really cool fashion brand called Blake Mill, and they do really high-end, lovely pattern shirts. So
Obviously.
So we're doing AI models. So one of their problems was to get the shirts onto a model is a massive period of time, and you're talking kind of like 12 weeks or something. So you've got to come up with an idea, kind of test it out with a few kind of people, kind of Photoshop some stuff, and then put it into production. And then you've got a stock of something that you, on a whim and a prayer, you hope people will buy. And then what we've done, we've got digital twins with some of their models that we've used. So we've made AI, and we can put any shirt pattern on an AI model now that really kind of brings that short life cycle, and then we can get stuff on the website really quickly, but then then we can start making the orders, get the pre-orders in.
Awesome.
Or if it doesn't kind of like, doesn't take off, people are not ordering it, we'll do a limited run.
And I guess the next iteration is as well, like not having to design the patterns, print it, actually make the shirts as you design it digitally, then put it onto those models, and then you can work out with it, right? You do some A/B testing, you go, do people prefer it in the red or the blue or the green? What was the old shirt? So what you probably know this. You're a clever lad. So a while back, you've heard the weird anomalies that people have, the audible hallucinations, where it's like red lorry.
Oh, red lorry, yellow lorry.
No, not that. There was basically it was the gold shirt or the blue shirt was the most common.
Yes.
People would perceive it differently based on their own vision or their own. Do you know the cause of that? What's the phenomenon that causes it?
Everybody sees colour a little bit differently, so it depends on your spectrum of vision.
Isn't that just philosophical though?
No.
How do I know that my blue is the same blue as your blue?
Well, there is that, but everybody sees it slightly different. So the range of colour, like some people can see more reds than other people. Like say, like the ranges of colour blindness. You go from people who can't see greens and blues, like my dad can only see browns, which he probably thought I was wearing brown all the time. That's why I hated my shirt.
Just hate the drawing stuff.
So he can't see those colours. So like he has to learn the order of traffic lights because.
So the same happens with hearing as well, right? So the link back to the audio one is that like over time you've got the mosquito sound, which is used to deter kids from standing by certain areas.
Yes,
which I've not tested in a while. I'm not sure if I can still hear it. I'll try and play this as well.
Yes.
That's not it, that's a siren.
Yeah.
But I guess with same as with colour as well, does your ability to see colour degrade as you get older? I'm not sure. Is that something that's been tested?
I don't know. Yeah, you'd think
Smell?
I don't know. I think it gets better. Your colour perception gets better because you understand colour more as you.
So why
So
is
you've
it?
got the context. So this goes back to AI. You have the context of what it is. So like the traffic lights, you know the order of like stopping, going, or almost stopping because of the order. You've got the context.
I guess if you've only ever seen white for your entire life and suddenly someone puts like a vibrant red in front of you that's got a few different shades of it, you're going to be struck by the
Exactly.
vibrancy until you see it. So
Yeah.
you exercise your eyes as well, like so you're strengthening over time, you would hope,
Yeah.
but then eyesight degrades. So what's
Yeah.
the use of exercising if it degrades? Maybe you shouldn't be exercising as much. But then how do you exercise your hearing?
That's really hard, isn't it? I think that's just like listening to. I used to get really distracted by noises, but I've kind of learned to block out all those noises, much to the detriment of my wife. Sorry, Nye. So now I can be.
You just can't hear Paul.
I know, yeah. Just so I can get what my son calls locked in. You get locked into doing something in some design, and
Like the Zuckerberg in the zone, right?
yeah. You get in the zone and kind of like noise around me. I can just block it out. So it's kind
Okay,
of like
so-
so you train your brain more than you do your hearing, and kind of like and this all came from so a while ago I used to work at Barclays and a big technology centre, and they were redoing it up, and they had a Starbucks coffee place. And they kind of put me by the front because I don't know why you'd want to
Colourful
have
shirt.
some colourful shirt near the front, but they kind of seem to like it.
Aren't we welcoming?
Yeah. Come and meet this crazy guy.
Works well,
I
right?
know, yeah. It worked really well. But then sitting there and you've got the noise of like Starbucks kind of going on all the time. You kind of like, and then you hear conversations, things like that. And I just learned to block it.
Accessibility wasn't really a thing, I'm guessing, then as well.
Yeah, and I just learned to block it out and kind of like, and also working in those open plan offices, you have kind of like, project managers who are on the phone all like,
Have you got a minute?
8 minutes, 8 minutes a day.
I used to hate this, so especially kind of like just after COVID, when people were starting to return to work, and we had people turning up on like, we'll just do a Tuesday to begin with. We'll come in for a half day.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have a whole team that turns up, and maybe there's someone working on a remote office or couldn't make it in that day. So 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, you do your stand-up call, everyone joins the call. And you've got 4 people sat in an office, 2 people sat at home, and suddenly people are into stand in different corners of this open plan office.
Yeah.
And I've still not found the solution to it. Like when you find in these remote calls, it's either everybody jumps onto a video call and they're sat in a weird angle where someone's just not on screen.
Totally.
I'd love to see a fix for that.
Yeah, no, it's they're trying to do it, aren't they, with noise cancelling and kind of like looking at kind of like using a bit of AI just to kind of isolate your voice. But it's
Is it avatars? Is that the
Could be
fix for us? Do
avatars.
we all just turn to maybe we just get AIs to handle our calls for us and then we get it to summarise. So if
interesting. I had a call about this earlier. So I joined the call, and before everybody else joined, there was about 3 or 4 note takers.
Yep.
And we were having a laugh about it, and we were just getting like, is there going to be a point soon that your note taker will turn up for a meeting?
So let's go.
And then send you a summary.
So let's delve a bit deeper into this. So I wrote a paper on this a while back, and
Yeah.
it was the philosophical and moral implications of resurrecting the dead using magic.
Oh yes.
And it talks about the implications of like using AI as an agent or as a personal agent, right? So if I can train it to answer my phone calls, answer my emails to a really close degree, like with a 90 whatever % accuracy,
Yeah.
there's going to be parts which are going to be better than me. It's going to respond quicker. It's going to use the right words and not offend and upset people because we've trained it to do that.
Yeah.
So it'll almost be like a better version of me, right? So if you look at some of the other things that have happened with AI, we've got like come and speak to Einstein. What would Einstein think about this? Or the other one I saw the other day was, I think it's 1688 personalities.
Yes.
Does this?
Yeah,
They've got an
yeah.
Alan Turing clone.
Yeah.
And Alan Turing's family has apparently supported this project and they've given it the blessing. But Alan hasn't, right? And how would I feel if someone was in, let's say, 60, 70 years' time to regurgitate my consciousness in some form, in some sort of Black Mirror-esque way? How would I feel about that now? And I'm not sure if we're at the point where we need to start writing into our wills, like, do not resuscitate, do not resurrect me. And it just raises so many different moral implications as well. So how does that affect the grieving process?
Yeah.
Like, if I know that I can still speak to you when you're gone and I'm still going to get some coherent answers that would just like you and you'll still tell the funny jokes that you used to do, I can even put a funny shirt on you and see, how I feel about that. How's that going to change things? If my digital consciousness then commits a crime, do we turn it off? Do we put it in some sort of digital jail? If I forget my password, how do I prove my identity?
I know.
What happens to like parental rights and what happens to property and stuff I used to own? Taxes, can I avoid those?
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
I don't come back for maybe 15 years, do I avoid statutes of limitations?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's so many things that we're going to have to start considering soon because we're saying that we can create these consciousnesses.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would I want to come back?
I don't know.
If you could live forever, would you want to?
I don't know. I think yes in a way, because it'd be nice to see what happens and how things progress. But at the same time, it could be really boring. I mean, like, you're thinking kind of like, you know, like, always remember, what was the...
Interview with the Vampire?
Interview with the Vampire. There's the immortal one, Sean Connery, with the where he just lived and he sought vengeance out, and he waited like 1,000 years to seek vengeance, and it was crazy. And you just think like, while it'd be cool, but what's the? Does it just make things boring?
So,
you know,
yeah,
if you've done it all, if you've kind of seen everywhere.
Is life only given meaning because of death?
Yeah. And
like, if it did last forever, then what is the point?
It's like having a deadline on a project, and kind of like, you know, you'll know you're delivered to that deadline because you've got a deadline. If you've got no deadline, would you just go like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, yeah. I'll do it next century.
Yeah. In fact, there's a really good reimagining of Dracula that was on BBC recently. It was like a 3-part series.
Yes.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but it basically kind of plays through like previous eras and then up to a modern era. And this vengeance, this grievance is still got with this like lineage and bloodline. It's a really, really interesting and fun watch.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting take, right? Is that if I could live forever, how would I want to end it? Would I want a button?
Yeah.
So if I say, okay, I've done 1,000 years, that's enough for me now. I want to stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
How long would you want to live for?
I don't know. Probably. I suppose I'd quite like to live. I'd love to explore space. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to live to...
What does that mean then? So is that going to the moon and then coming back? How do you know you've explored space? Make that smart for me.
So beyond our solar system.
Beyond disbelief, because it's not been as easy and we've not done it again.
Is that just funding though? Is it just
funding?
Yeah, I don't know. There's more. I think back then though, there was less restrictions on less kind of like what you could do, what you couldn't do. And like there was, I think the moon's become a political hotbed as well, because like only certain countries can land on certain parts of it, and you have to have like agreement with that country to.
So recently, 2030, there's going to be a nuclear reactor on Mars. Is that what I saw recently?
Yeah.
It's going to put a problem somewhere else.
I was actually reading that space travel is going to be impossible anyway, because of the amount of radiation in space. So to even travel to Mars, and this is why we've not really sent people, is because of the radiation. So you die.
You can't stay there for long enough.
You die of radiation poison on the way.
But don't you get older? So because you're further away, and then.
Yeah, or do you stay younger?
You'll actually
stay younger.
One of those two. You'll either get older but die faster.
Yeah.
Or you'll Interesting.
Totally. Is it? Yeah, because in Mars is it 625 days for an Earth year?
I'm not as much of a nerd as you, but I'll believe you if you tell me.
I only know because I asked Alexa the other day.
One of my favourite quotes is, if you say anything with enough conviction, people believe you.
Yeah.
Always worked for me as well.
Yeah.
That and I'll ask you for one as well. Favourite quote ever, which is, whenever we do something scary, that thing doesn't get any less scary, we just become a bit more brave.
I don't know. I don't know about brave. I just think it's kind of like, it's only scary because you've never done it.
Yeah. So once you've faced that fear, it doesn't become any less scary. It's still going to be a scary concept, but you've just become a bit more brave. You've overcome a fear.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Although I do think it works in the reverse as well, because I think when you get older, you're afraid of more things.
Oh, carry on.
Yeah, because I think, like, for example, I never used to be afraid of heights. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, just before the pandemic, we were going around a castle, quite high up, and like never used to bother me. I used to go to castles all the time, climb up walls, loads of things, never bothered me. And now, I kind of like only have to go up like one flight of stairs. It kind of makes me feel queasy and sick. But I can go on roller coasters and things. I absolutely love roller coasters. So there's something...
Your brain's broken there, isn't it?
I know.
Interesting. So I got hypnotised fairly recently to stop smoking. So I've stopped
okay.
smoking for 10 months now. Used to smoke
Nice.
over 20 a day. Really, really bad habit. And after one session of hypnotism, that was it for me.
Wow.
Brains are really weird things, right? But whilst I was there, my hip therapist did it remotely. So it was over a Teams
Okay.
call as well, which
Wow.
blew my mind even
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
I guess just a kind of sign of how ready I was to want to quit smoking.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was telling me a story about someone that he'd helped with heights as well. Lifts that go up 2 stories.
Okay.
I've been up and down about 6 or 7 times now. I don't think I'm scared anymore.
Nice.
And again, just that power
Yeah.
of once you've conquered a fear or once someone's told you the different way of looking at it. For me, the hypnotism was really interesting because we did a like 30-minute conversation on the hippocampus and hypothalamus first of all. So
Okay.
your reward system. So if I'm having a cigarette, or if I was having a cigarette, then because I was a rolly smoker as well, I get told before in my brain that I'm going to have the routine, I get the nice thing,
Yeah.
and then you're going to have a cigarette soon. Then you have the cigarette, and then the next thing you think about is when you're going to have a next cigarette.
Yeah.
And if you're going out in the car, you're going to think about, or if you're going out anyway, you're going to think about all the opportunities you're going to get to do that. So
Yeah.
it's this continuous dopamine release that you get.
Yeah.
Consider though that for the past 15, 16 years, my brain hasn't had the opportunity to see what it looks like with Liam as a non-smoker and the things that I could have done and the stories that I tell myself. So for all the times I've said, I met someone really cool outside, you get to meet all these cool people.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about how horrible my hands smell afterwards, or the people complained about the smell of my clothes when I came back in.
Yeah.
I didn't have the opportunity to meet some cool people inside that didn't go out smoking as well.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that as soon as you try
Yes.
something new and the balance that you get from that as well. That was another one for me.
Yeah,
We'll try and
yeah.
wrap it up. So we've talked about
Yes.
experiences growing up, we've talked about work life, we've
Shirts.
talked briefly about shirts and death as well.
Yeah.
My favourite question I started to ask people recently is, have you got your funeral playlist ready?
Yes.
Give me something from it.
Yes. So.
And I don't mean sing.
Yeah, I think there's probably a few I'd have. I'd probably have a bit of Metallica in there.
Enter Sandman.
Probably Enter Sandman. Yeah, just kind of it goes.
Just to fuck with the people a bit.
Yeah, and I'd probably have. Rolling Stones as well. Kind of Fade to Black.
Ooh.
I know. It's really depressing for people going to my. But it's just and I'd probably have a bit of Guns N' Roses.
Yeah?
Yeah. What would I have?
You're a
Maybe.
true 80s child, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd kind of maybe have kind of like November Rain. Kind of
Oh.
depends.
That's going to be for either when the casket's going down. or
Yeah.
when the thing, right?
It's got to be for that whole.
Something upbeat for people coming in, and then you slowly get them to well up and kick them at the end.
And then I'd probably have Keen, Only Somewhere We Know.
What's the significance of that one?
So we used to listen to it kind of like back in the 90s, and I used to be a DJ, and I used to play it on kind of one of my
That's
sets.
such a history I don't know about.
Yeah. I used to play it on my sets and stuff.
It's got that nostalgic feel
It
for you
just got
then.
that nostalgic feel. And then there's also Elbow as well. Where's it, when he opens the curtains? Oh, I can't remember the name of
We
it.
need to
but it was,
we need to look at your playlist to make sure we've got this nailed.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to. I've got a few of my things ready as well. I'm going to put those into my will.
But that was the song we walked down the aisle to. That's why I'd have
So
it. Yeah.
Oh, so you're going before her then? Is that the way this is going? You're going to,
Well, either way. Either way.
Statistically, I think that's correct.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. And then one last one. Definitely a Pearl Jam. Yellow Ledbetter. Which is a real B-side. It's
I'm going to need like a mixtape from you at some stage.
Yeah.
Something like a Spotify playlist maybe.
Yeah. I can do that.
So I need picture of you, long hair, Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
And we'll both arrange to update our wills at some stage.
Yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed speaking to you.
Nice.
Thanks for coming on today.
Likewise. Nice. Thanks for having me.
Love you lots.
Cool. Thank you.